votes in cases that had been argued, plus another tie vote last week to stay in execution.
Hey guys, it's JohnyTechReview. Today I have a review for you of this Yi dashcam. So this dashcam is from a company called Yi Technology. This is definitely not the Xiaomi Z camera, but it's very similar, and as you can see here, this company does a very good job here with the design and also the application, which I will show you later. So here's the unit, not a very typical dash cam look like, it's more like an action cam. At the back here you have a few buttons, record, video, preview, and then on off, and also setting. Two little LED here to indicate the status and then the on. Yi logo up top down. You got this big nice screen here that's I think about 3 inch or 3.5, I can't remember. So on the left side here you have the micro SD slot for the memory card, and then on the right side here you have the micro USB port for using the device. There's also a reset button up here, nothing at the bottom, and then up top here you actually have the mounting mechanism. So first of all, I want to point out that the mounting mechanism is pretty hard to push in. So when you get it into place, it will stay in place pretty well, but it's actually hard to squeeze it to get it out. The thing about the mounting mechanism is that it's actually a adhesive surface, and then you adhere that to the glass of your car, and then that will keep it in place. I personally do not like this approach because it seems permanent, and also because I review a lot of different dash cam, I like to switch them out. But I guess for other people it will not be such a problem. But the second big problem I see with having a setup like this as opposed to something like a suction cup is that the suction cup does a better job of reducing the vibration when you're driving around. With this, it's a very hard mount, and I feel like when your car is moving around, you can see from my video footage, it's actually a little bit shaky, and I didn't like that. So I do wish that in the future they use a suction cup instead of just a method, which would be much better. So here's the lens. As you can see, this is an f1.8 lens. Has a really nice viewing angle of 165 degrees now, and yeah, this lens is actually really good. I was driving around the other day. It was around 8:30. It was really dark, and outside was pretty gloomy, but from the camera screen I was able to see very nice view, and the camera was able to pick up a lot of light, which is really great thanks to this nice little lens here. So here is the power cable. It's just a regular micro USB cable that is about 10 feet long and has an angle plug, so you can plug it up just like this, and then this cable just run up on the your roof and go out to the side wherever you want to mount it to. It terminates on the USB port, and you can plug this into one adapter. I don't think it includes a adapter, but the coolest thing about this device, of course, is the app. I'm gonna go ahead and plug it in and show you guys what it look like. It will come on just like that, and then it will say pause here, and then it will resume recording, and now it's recording already. So you can see how fast that boot up and record. And when it's recording, this light's blinking, and that's to indicate power. So here I dim the camera just a little bit to show you guys, but right now it's starting to record. We can stop record by just pressing that button right now, and it actually buffer down, and during this time the camera is being buffered down. It's still recording during this time, so you do not want to do anything. So while it's recording, you can actually press this pause button here, and that will pause the video, as you can see right now, and you can resume it again, which is kind of nice and handy. You also have this preview button here. If you press this button, the camera will pause and not record. So then we're going to go ahead and go that button, and you can see the various different footage that will just record here. And then when you do that, the button down here become this multi-function button, so you can select, go around here and select this like that, as you can see. So for example, if we select this video here, it will start playing, and you can hear really nice clear quality, just give you an idea. We can also back out by just doing this, or you can just delete out if you want to. So go ahead and back out here. Up top here you have the microphone button to denote the sound recording. Wi-Fi is on right now, and then there's a power. If we go to setting, it's a very simple setting screen, which I really like. Here you can just pick one of these tiles, and then you can select which mode. So right now it's 1080p 30 frames per second, 1080p 60 frames per second, and then 1290 at 30 frames per second. So those are the three options you have. Very simple. You can swap to the next mode by going here, microphone on off. You have sensor, G sensor. You have LCD saving mode, so after a while this LCD will go off, or you can just have it on all the time. Here you have ADAS. ADAS is the driver assistant, and when just basically when you're drifting out of your lane, it will let you know, and when you're driving too close, it will also let you know. I found out with the driving too close, there's no calibration or anything, and even though I'm keeping a pretty good distance from a car in front of you, it's pretty aggressive, and you can kind of adjust that in the app, which I'll show you later. But it's pretty aggressive, and even I'm following maybe 50 feet away from the car, sometimes it will go off and tell me that please stay far away from the car in front of you. You have Wi-Fi setting right here, memory card format, and then you have factory reset. On the next page you have daytime stamp, standby clock, power on and off sound, and then basically it. The cool thing about the clock is if you sync with the app, it will automatically sync with your phone, so that way you don't have to worry about setting the clock, which is something I hate doing on these little devices. But anyway, let me show you the app. That's pretty much it on now. The app itself is actually very smooth. You connect to the Wi-Fi on that camera, and it's called eCam Car right now. And when you connect to it, you can just launch the app. The video stream from the app is very nice and very smooth. Here's the app here, we can see. And it goes to use kind of the social network kind of thing. To access it, all you have to do is just press this icon right here, and it will connect. And as you can see now, the camera is now on. So while you're in the app here, you can see there's a button right here you can just press to take a picture, and that will save to your camera. Right now it's failed, I think I'm out of space on my phone, but normally that will should work. And then if you press this button here, you go to just maximize screen, and then you can see there's a live view. It's roughly about, I would say, about half a second behind, and I guess that's to be expected because, you know, the camera had to process the information and then you had to get it from the thing. So it's about half a second delay, but that to be expected. When you're driving around, you will notice that let's say you see a car and then half a second later you will see it on here. This is not intended to be used for that purpose, but you know, you do have an option there to kind of frame your shot, those kind of thing. Pretty simple setup though, and if you press this little setting screen here, you can see all the different setting options, just like I showed you before in the camera itself. And here you can see collision sensibility. You can set to low, high, medium. I had it on low, but they still complain to me about those kind of thing. Here you can set timestamp, watermark. You can turn on ADIS or turn it off from right here. And then here Wi-Fi setting, you can change the password and all that stuff. And here's the model. First time I used this app, there was no firmware update, but recently there was a firmware update. And as soon as I launched this app, it asked me to update the camera firmware, which I answered to yes to, and it takes roughly about, I would say, 20 seconds to download the firmware and put it on the camera, and then it's about 2-minute process where the camera will update the firmware, which was pretty simple and painless. Very cool. Most of the dash cam I use never have firmware update, so you know, it's kind of nice to have this option here, and it's nice to know a company is actually taking care of it. So one last thing I want to show you is this album thing. You can click album, and then you can go to different setting here. In the emergency, it will let you know all the emergency video that it capture. So you know, when they detect a G-sensor action, it will let you know that, and here it will save the footage to the card, and then you can see it here, which is very cool. You can go to see your regular typical driving, which is all here. You can download these, you can view them, and it's also local, which is the local. I'm gonna go ahead and click one of these to show you. And here you can see, tell you how big the footage is. There's a quality. You can download to Wi-Fi if you wanted to, and you can also play it, I believe, by frame. Yeah, I think this just let you do a preview, but that kind of give you an idea. I think the app is very well done here, and there's not much complaint to me from the app. Overall, there's not much to complain about. I really like the camera. The picture that the camera produces is very nice, and at nighttime you will like this camera because it does a very good job of capturing you know, nice shot, and with your car headlight on, it will definitely help with that process. I think the biggest downside for this guy gotta be the mount. To me, the mount is really annoying because first of all, it's permanent, and you have to rip it up, and then you can't really reuse it. And then the other option, of course, is the mount doesn't have enough vibration reduction, so which causes some shaky footage. But you can help that by really securing the mount really well, and that should help a lot. So guys, that's pretty much conclude my quick review. I hope it helped you in your purchase decision. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comment below. And as always, stay tuned for future review. Thank you.